If the Oakland A's news of the last couple of weeks were a film, I'd say it would be the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good being signing a Japanese superstar, the bad, the A's trading away another of our favourites, and bringing the ugly, in more ways than one, would be Elon Musk. Yes, it is time for the latest episode of the Oakland A's UK podcast.
It's the Oakland A's UK podcast.
Yes, indeed it is. Hello, welcome to the A's UK podcast. It is season 4, episode 2, being recorded on, Friday, the 27th of January. I'm your host, Matt. I am here with Dom, and we are Friday nighting, Dom, aren't we? Because it is dry January.
It is dry January, yeah. I was going to say, it's January because we're recording a podcast on a Friday night.
Yeah. And no better way to spend a Friday night than talking about the A's, because to be fair, this is a bit of a jam-packed show. Not only the A's, Roots and Soul. There's a lot that's been going on at the moment, Dom.
There has. There's been Twitter shenanigans. The aforementioned, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
There's been comings and goings with the A's. They've been busy. And there's been some other things as well. So yeah, plenty to cover today.
But sad news continues, of course, because we do have to start with the most bizarre little escapade on Twitter that we woke up to on Thursday morning. I think it was sort of coming out on Wednesday night in Oakland. But Thursday morning, there's all this nonsense going on Twitter because a certain man was photographed and tweeted about it himself wearing an A's jersey. And that man, of course, was Elon Musk, old Tesla tosser Elon Musk. And what were your thoughts as soon as you saw this nonsense, Dom?
Well, after I choked back a bit of vomit, I think I first came across it. I'm going to get it wrong and upset someone. I think it might have been A's Craze, or someone had retweeted the image and said, "Please buy the A's."
Yeah.
And I immediately replied, "Please don't." And then I saw a few more people like mentioning it, suggesting that maybe he would buy the A's. And so it just led me to post myself saying, look, a horrific billionaire, monstrous billionaire, I think was the wording I used. In your favourite team shirt is still a monstrous billionaire. And with regards to Twitter, I suggested that he seeks to give hatred and harmful people and actors a platform, and that's not something I want involved with the A's. This will be a view that others may disagree with, but I and in actually all the teams that I follow, this is a podcast, so I'm wearing an FC Union top. I'm a Liverpool season ticket holder. All of the teams that I follow have a political leaning intertwined with them, and this is just, this couldn't be further from the politics of Oakland, could it? Elon Musk. So I reacted. That got quite a few likes, quite a few people responding. But Brian Sandlot, the guy with all the badges on his waist jacket, has since tweeted. And I believe he is behind the shirt somehow.
He is involved.
So he works for Tesla. I'm not looking to get any employees in trouble or anything like that. But he mentioned on Twitter that they organised a night out at the A's. The director got a shirt for Musk because they thought it'd be funny, and this was just the first time they'd seen Musk. Fine. I don't have a gripe against people who are working for Tesla in any way, shape, or form. We love Brian. I'm sure Brian knows the situation much better than I do. If he was to buy the A's, I'd be completely against it. But if he's just wearing a shirt because his employees bought him, or at least he's done something for his employees this year.
Yes, Elon Musk's tweet. Essentially, he was at the Tesla California factory, and he was there to congratulate them on record production, as he put it. But yeah, that was the story. Ultimately, it set off a whole load of nonsense because he was wearing an A's jersey. But as Brian kindly pointed out to so many people, it was there, and he put it on for the photo, and there was no more to it. And I mean, it was one of those tragic things where frankly, the way some people immediately jumped on it and were like, just going after it, it was just like, do you have no shame at all? Yeah, and I know we all have lists.
Oh,
Our sports teams, you've got that with Liverpool, where it is total madness. Internet Liverpool, whereby it's like people don't. Like, some people just don't care who the owner is so long as they're going to chuck money at it. And that is not why I support sports teams. It's not just about wins and losses. It's about what it means to be a fan and how that team represents your city and your area. And it's understandable. Maybe some people who don't have that connection with a team may not see it that way, but it is just that constant thing of, I'm not happy with how things are. Any old billionaire will do. And it is so wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree entirely, Matt. I mean, look, I think the A's are unique in the teams that I support, in that I'd quite like them to get a new owner. I think Fisher's really garbage.
Yeah.
That's not suggesting that FSG or owners of any of the other teams I support are brilliant. Although Arthur Blank is kind of cool with the Falcons. But look, billionaires are billionaires. They didn't get there because of their charitable work.
No.
There isn't such a thing as a good one in many regards. And look, as you say, I think it's just a bit embarrassing, isn't it? I mean, I don't want Fisher. My main objective for the A's this year is that they get the bloody stadium complete.
Yeah.
But I also don't want them selling out to a toss pot. So I think it's one of those careful what you wish for things.
Exactly. Yeah. The idea of he'll be better than Fisher. Well, if that's all you hope for your team, better than Fisher, I mean, you don't really care all that much. I would argue.
Well, it's a low bar, but I'm not even sure that Musk passes the test. I mean, what is better than Fisher? I mean, does spending money but dragging the club's name through the dirt count?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's made an absolute fiasco out of Twitter, hasn't he? And frankly, he's not got the money to buy anything, has he? He's ruined himself doing that.
Yeah. Hilariously. Yeah, and I will say, I mean, some people jumped on it, but it's that there are many things about the way the MLB cabal works that I don't like. But the thing is, if John Fisher even thought about doing it for 1 second and went to the commissioner's office and said, "Oh, I'm thinking about selling up to Elon Musk," they would just laugh at him, because it's like, there is no way the other 29 owners would vote in favor of allowing Elon Musk to buy a baseball team, basically. So it was never going to happen, and it was never on the cards anyway. But it was a bit disappointing, I would say, in terms of how some fans were immediately throwing themselves to the floor and saying, "Please piss in my mouth," which essentially is what they were doing by wanting Elon Musk to take over their baseball team. But we shall leave that nonsense to one side, because it's not happening. We don't want it to happen, and it's not. So that's at least one thing we can be glad for.